term Global South appears in Le Manifesto and seems to apply to countries and regions that people in the North Atlantic, probably the great majority of us here, used to consider their geopolitical, economic, cultural, and social subordinates. I don't know what the term is. Not us, of course, but our societies, right? Namely, the regions colonized by Western European powers for several centuries, and as we all know, usually racialized as other in the European imagination and self-conception. But with all due respect to many of my close friends, including in this room, is it not time to shed that geopolitical and social imaginary and clearly see and recognize the enormous differences in wealth, size, ambitions, political efficacy, and geopolitical presence in the so-called Global South, including in the worlds of anthropology? Are we calling the nearly 3,000 Brazilian anthropologists non-hegemonic? How about the already English-speaking social anthropologists of India or of South Africa? I could give you many examples. I fear that Le Manifesto aims to say something big and for the 21st century for and in defense of anthropology anywhere, but that part of its framing and perhaps its originary impetus was to draw on the sense of non-dominance experienced by many Francophone anthropologists in the past 2 or 3 decades in order to try to counter Anglo-American anthropological dominance, privileging, and self-importance. Perhaps, as the project developed since 2007, it morphed and changed into an exploration of what anthropology could be if it were to always make a concerted effort to challenge power differentials in the world, including in the practice of anthropology and in anthropological research. A bigger, broader goal that does not decide a priori who is part of a hegemonic anthropology and who is not. I told you I'm doing my reading of this, right? If so, Le Manifesto de Lausanne's vision seems to me to share a family resemblance with other intellectual efforts, paradigms, and sub-paradigms within anthropology and across several humanities and social science fields. It is not clear to me to what extent the co-authors of the manifesto agree or would agree with what I just said. I do think that alliances are usually stronger than fragmentation, and therefore I would want to ask and to suggest that pointing more clearly to what the Manifesto's vision shares with X, Y, or Z is a better move than one implying great differentiation or separation.